Dear students, today I am going to discuss about ratio. If A and B are two quantities of same kind, then the fraction A by B, where B is not equals to 0, is called the ratio of A to B. The ratio of A and B is usually written as A is to B. This is to is the sign of colon, but we read it as A is to B. The first term A is called the antecedent and the second term B is called the consequent of the ratio A is to B. The value of a ratio remains unchanged if both the antecedent and the consequent are multiplied or divided by the same non-zero number. Example, 2 is to 3 is equals to 2 into 2 is to 3 into 2. It has been multiplied by the same number, antecedent as well as consequent. Not only this, when it is divided by the same number, that is 5 here, then also it is equal, it is unchanged. That means 2 is to 3 is equals to 2 by 5 is to 3 by 5. Both antecedent and consequent here are divided by 5, but the value is unchanged. Now we come to composition of ratios. The first is compound ratio. The compound ratio of A is to B and C is to D is defined as the product of antecedents is to product of consequents. That is, AC is to BD. Example is the compound ratio of 2 is to 3 and 6 is to 7 is 2 into 6 is to 3 into 7. Here 2 and 6 are the antecedents of these two ratios and 3 and 7 are the consequents of these two ratios. So the product of antecedents is 2 into 6 is 2 and the product of consequent is 3 into 7. Now second is duplicate ratio. It is the compound ratio of two equal ratios. Thus the duplicate ratio of A is to B is A square is to B square. Example, the duplicate ratio of 4 is to 9 is 4 square is to 9 square. That is 16 is to 81. Now third is triplicate ratio. It is the compound ratio of three equal ratios. Thus the triplicate ratio of A is to B is A cubed is to B cubed. Example, 20 is to 21. Triplicate ratio is 20 to the power 3 is to 21 to the power 3. That is 8000 is to 9261. Okay. Now fourth is sub-duplicate ratio. The sub-duplicate ratio of A is to B is defined as a square root of A is to a square root of B. That is, sub-duplicate ratio of 16 is to 25 is a square root of 16 is to a square root of 25. That is 4 is to 5. Fifth is sub-triplicate ratio. The sub-triplicate ratio of A is to B is defined as cube root of A is to cube root of B. Example is the sub-triplicate ratio of 27 is to 64 is cube root of 27 is to cube root of 64. That is 3 is to 4. Sixth is reciprocal ratio. The reciprocal ratio of A is to B is 1 by A is to 1 by B or B is to A. Example, the reciprocal ratio of 4 is to 5 is 5 is to 4. Okay, in this way we are finding the ratios, and in next video we will talk about proportions. Thank you. If you like, please share and subscribe.